Let's get started here, guys. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to live trading. If this is your first time on live trading, welcome. We are using the webinars channel in Slack to communicate. As you guys know, we streamed the first 30 minutes on YouTube. Because I took a couple days off, I'm going to be streaming today and tomorrow on YouTube as well, and then going back to the same rhythm of streaming for the first hour. As you guys know, the market is closed on Friday for 4th of July. I'm actually flying back to New Jersey on Friday for not only 4th of July, but our Cobra event of the New York Stock Exchange is next week. So congrats to the winners of the Cobra Trading giveaway. The winners were, I'll actually share it again. It was Brian, Brian T. It was Tim and also Mark. So congrats to the winners of the giveaway for the New York Stock Exchange. As you guys know, we do activations for Cobra Trading and now big trades every single quarter. This was last time we went to the stock exchange. All you have to do is be an MIC member and have a Cobra account or big trades account. I actually have a meeting with the Cobra guys later today to work on the next promotion for you guys. We've done supercar racing in Vegas, we've done steak dinners, we've done barbecues, we've done stock exchange, so should be some exciting stuff. So congrats to the winner. So I'll be in New Jersey. I will be trading while I am in New Jersey, visiting friends and family. And then, yeah, so that's kind of what my schedule is like. I actually thought that Thursday was a half day, but unfortunately Thursday is not a half day. Thursday is not a half day trading, so there's that. And yeah, so sorry guys, I'm a little bit tired. Just trying to catch up on this jet lag that I've been feeling ever since traveling. But overall, I'm really happy with my performance last month. Walked away with a $52,000 month, no red days at all. As you guys saw yesterday, we live traded JEM. And walked away at 10:30. And to my surprise, when I got back to looking at this, I saw it ramped all the way back. So it's actually very funny because we always talk about our process, right? And for me, after going through my stats, after going through my numbers, after going through everything, I have found that I lose money either pre-market or after 10:30 a.m. So between 9:30 and 10:30 a.m., I have a 75% win rate. Meaning if I trade between 9:30 and 10:30, I win 75% of the time. The difference is if I trade past 10:30 or if I trade pre-market, my win rate drops to about 50%. So the thing about trading that a lot of people don't really realize is that it's counterintuitive, meaning your job as a trader is actually to trade less. Why? It's because the reality is this. At a normal day job, the more you work, the more overtime you get, the more everything that you would get, right? But in trading, the more that you work, the actual less money that you make, because the reality is that the market is designed to take your money over time. All of these hedge funds, all of these algos, all of these institutions have robots that literally just want to make 1 cent at a time, right? And the reality is that they are making billions and billions of dollars 1 cent at a time from people over trading or from people doing all that types of stuff. So my process tells me that I have to walk away at 10:30. You know, we joke all the time about the Alex indicator. We joke around about, things going lower without me. But at the end of the day, we're complaining about making money, right? We're joking around that we made money and we didn't make more money. I mean, what a blessing is that, right? What a blessing is that. So on an example of JEM, as you guys saw, I traded until my process told me around 10:30, and I left it alone. It started to rebound midday, and then all of a sudden after hours, it pushes all the way up to 13. So my process protected me from a trade like this, you know? So the thing that you have to realize, guys, is less is more. By trading less, it allows me to enjoy my life. The reality of trading is this. The reality of trading is that I just want to make sure that I unlock freedom, right? We get into trading because we want to make money. We get into trading because, we want to change our lives. We get into trading for all this stuff. But the reality is that, we do it for the freedom. And freedom to me is trading for only 1 hour a day. So after 12 years of trading, 12 and a half years of trading, I have my sweet spot. I have my window of opportunity. I have my 1 hour. In that 1 hour, I am one of the top traders out there. Aside from that 1 hour, I'm like fucking James. I can't get anything to work. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, but but that's the point, guys. You have to find your window of opportunity. Maybe your window of opportunity is pre-market. Maybe your window of opportunity is large caps. Maybe your window of opportunity is options. I don't know what your window of opportunity is. I'm just showing you what's working for me, right? This is what's made me $16 million in profits. This is what's allowed me to trade for 1 hour a day. So if you want to trade options, if you want to trade Forex, you want to trade crypto, you want to do whatever, go ahead. You might allow it to work. But the reality is that we have a process that is proven to work. We have the most consistently profitable traders that go through our program, right? And that is why we do what we do, right? I have made enough money that I could retire and never work a day in my life again. It would make my wife very, very happy to travel more, but I do this because I love it. There's a feeling that I get being able to help people. That's why most people in my position do not do things like this, because they don't really care, And for me, I really just want to be able to provide a value. I want to be able to make friends doing this. I want to be able to change people's lives, because that to me is my mission. I have the cars, I have the watches, I have the house, I have the vacation. And until you have all that stuff, you realize that there is more out there. And for me, it brings me a lot of fulfillment doing this. I've met some of my closest friends, including Steve, James, Harry, Anas, all the moderators in this chat, simply through this community. Some of my closest friends. Some people that I would consider my brothers, right? And to me, that is more valuable than trading alone and trying to figure this thing out on your own. So, I'm very, very grateful that we have a process that works. I am very, very grateful that, for the last 3 years, you guys have seen me trade live. I have so many videos on YouTube live trading. I have so much everything, but people just don't watch, right? And that's their loss. So with that being said, let's get started by building the watch list today. And then after I get into it, we'll have Steve talk about maybe some boot camp stuff, and then we'll get into it. So let me sip my coffee real quick here, and we'll get started. Oh man, there's nothing that hits like the first morning coffee, man. There is nothing that hits like the first morning coffee. Damn. All right, let's get into it. So, what is the first step in building our watch list? The first step in building our watch list is we always go the previous day's watch list first. Why? Because we want to make sure that we do not miss any trades of the day. Oftentimes, people forget about stocks moving the past day. And what I find is when people forget about those stocks, that is actually when the most opportunity is available. So let's start there. UPC. UPC, you can see it popped and dropped this morning, kind of lackluster move. We were looking for a short yesterday towards this $11 mark. It never came. So nothing really there. VWAP, this was another one that I was super excited about yesterday. It never really bounced, so no opportunity there. JEM had a really great trade on this on the short side yesterday, adding to a winner and covering out by 10 a.m. Very thankfully avoided and ignored it. Stuck to my process, stuck to my rules, and walked away. Had I not walked away, not only would I have been spending more time in front of the computer, I would have lost money. So by walking away, I made more money and I worked less. And that's the concept that I want you guys to understand. So coming into today, Probably going to ignore this. Way too trappy. So JEM, nice trade yesterday and walking away at zombie times. This allowed me to make more money and trade less. As you can see, the stock squeezed up yesterday and today, so most likely ignoring the short on this. SVRE, I was also super excited to short this one yesterday, but unbelievably it just went straight down from 9 to 2, man. And this is why we trade these types of stocks. Look at the opportunity available for $9 to $2. What is that? Minus 75% in a day. I mean, dude, our job, well, let me paraphrase this. My job is to find these opportunities, man. That is the whole reason why people join MIC. That is the whole reason why people are here. So I could do the work for you. Imagine if you could just find one of these stocks a day. It's a moneymaker. But obviously, as you know now, back down and there's no opportunity. Now let's go to what's moving today. LHAI, over 100 million shares traded. Over 100 million shares traded and acting strong. So most likely going to ignore this. LHAI, over 100 million shares traded pre-market and holding well so far. So most likely ignoring this short. CANF, this usually has a history of pop and dropping. You can see just 3 days ago, it kind of popped and dropped, and now it kind of came back on air. For this one, I would feel a lot more comfortable waiting for the backside of the move, meaning instead of shorting into strength, I would rather let it break down and then join that weakness. So for me, I'll probably say, I don't know, like somewhere under $5. So if this thing remains under $5, I think I'd feel a lot more comfortable shorting it. The only difference is if we get something that has new money flow on the day, then I would be interested in shorting it. If one of the mods could post the money flow article in chat and in the YouTube for people to see. But CANF, ideally looking for a new stock to take money flow away from this, and then we'll look to short, or waiting for a major fail and joining the trend. More information will come after the open. And next is ELAB. ELAB, $1 stock, pretty broken, so nothing there. EXST, Chinese stock, low float. So overall, kind of looking like a little bit of a sketchier day today. Kind of feels like a lot of the plays are, more risk than reward. So on days like today, I also remind myself that I should be sizing down a little bit. So every day that you show up to the market, you should be asking yourself, is today a day to size up or is today a day to size down? And so far what I'm seeing on a day like today is I'm probably going to be sizing down, because the main stocks moving today are all very, very trappy. The only stock that I see has some potential maybe is this CANF, because this LHAI has 100 million shares of volume. So that's kind of what I'm thinking coming into today. So we got a couple questions here. So I'm going to kind of rapid fire the questions, and then I'm going to pass along to Steve, and we'll get started there. So a couple things here. Any current MIC promos? Yeah, just email us at stevenrh1@myinvestingclub.com. We have a ton of promos going on right now. Hey Alex, a quality mic would help us understand. Yeah, I got to get a new mic. If anyone has any recommendations, just shoot them over to me. I definitely have to get a new microphone. So when the stock is going down, do you place a put option? We do not use options, we use stocks. Most of these small cap stocks do not have an options chain. And options are, in my opinion, some of the fastest ways to lose all of your money. People like options because it's like buying a lottery ticket. And as you guys know, most lottery tickets go to zero. So I do not recommend options trading for many people. And most people that trade options consistently lose money. So, EHGO. Let's see. EHGO, this could be a potential. We'll kind of keep it on side radar. CLZ 128. So dollar stocks, nothing there. So right now, yeah, CANF is my top watch. I'm not really too sure yet. Let me see. Locate prices are about 30 cents. What the fuck is going on with these locates these days, man? And yeah, with that being said, I'll pass over to Steve to talk about maybe our boot camp, talk about some upcoming promos, and that's it.
Cool. So first of all, if you guys are listening to me and you guys have an MIC membership, come into webinars in Slack. If you guys have not received your Slack invite, I actually have these sent out a couple times a day. If you still have a problem, just email me, StephenRH1@mindinvestingclub.com. So we post everything in Slack, webinars, everything I'm talking about is there. If you guys have questions, you guys can also ask there. So for the Orlando Bootcamp, thanks for posting an awesome. Great stuff. I also posted some of the basics. So basically, if you guys want tickets, if you guys want to book your hotel rooms, all that kind of stuff, that first link that I posted is all the general info, tickets, info, general stuff. The hotel blocks are in there. I'm not sure if there's any rooms left. I haven't heard they sold out, so there might still be some left, but they're definitely getting low, last I heard. For the sponsorship tickets, so these tickets go to, they actually sponsor the event. All platinum members go free. 99% of the members who come or visitors who come are platinum members. So there's a lot of cost involved, obviously renting out the conference room, all that kind of stuff. So these tickets go to sponsor the event, right? So the VIP steak dinners, last I heard there were 6 left. This is a private steak dinner with Alex and Bao in a private room of a great steakhouse. It's always a lot of fun. Universal Studio, we did Epic Universe last year. The Universal Studio tickets are sold out. I've got 1 or 2 on a standby list. If you guys want to get on a standby list, just DM me. I don't think there's going to be any openings, but just in case there is, DM me. Finally, if you guys, like, as I already mentioned, if you guys are platinum, you guys head to the platinum mentoring channel. You guys can sign up for free. Okay, so besides that, anybody listening to me on YouTube, feel free to email me with any questions. Current promo right now to joining is we've got a 50% off for PDT going away. The coupon code that can be used at our website is BUY PDT, BYE PDT at myinvestingclub.com. Cool. Besides that, got something kind of fun I want to talk about real quick. So I saw, we talked about this last week. We talked about it again yesterday. I think it was really interesting. And also Phil, I don't know if you're listening in, Phil. Phil posted some really interesting numbers of his recent stats, trading above and below VWAP. I posted mine. I've got some updated ones from some recent trades I added. Okay, so looking in webinars, guys, what Phil just posted, which I think is really, really interesting, and there's a lot of insight here. So if I'm reading this correctly, Phil, let me make sure I'm reading this correctly. Basically, is that right? Your profit factor is like 8.34 when you trade below VWAP.
Jeez.
And you were pretty much break even above VWAP, right? Sounds like that's what I'm looking at. That's pretty insane. And is that just for June or is that for a longer period? I've only got stats for the last like 3 or 4 weeks, so mine don't go back that far. So those are just for June. So I posted mine. This is over close to 50 trades by now. Starting above VWAP, what is it? Okay, so the first number is the win rate. Win rate was like 75%. Profit factor was 3. Starting under VWAP, which I did have a lot bigger sample size then, but that win rate was 77 and the profit factor was like 9. So what I discovered by digging into the numbers is that the win rate was similar, but, and I think yours might show something similar, Phil. My losers were a lot bigger above VWAP. My winners were smaller. And it was just like the trades were a lot tougher above VWAP. My profit factor was a lot bigger under VWAP, meaning my losses were really small and my profitable trades were a lot bigger. So anyways, I think that's really interesting. One more thing I want to share with you guys, because it's kind of related, and I had this conversation this morning with a member. I want to share this graphic on front side, back side. And I say it's related because, you know, when backside truly confirms, you know, it's generally under VWAP, right? So when we've got a big move above VWAP, then we generally confirm under VWAP. If you guys are not sure, like, hey, you know, the trend is here, what was the last high, whatever. The way to be safe is just to attack the trades when you guys are under VWAP. One more thing before the market opens I want to share with you guys, which was kind of fun. Hope he doesn't mind me sharing it, but Thomas shared this in main chat this morning. I thought this was really funny because at the same time he shared it, I was also talking with a member about this. Basically, some trades, you know, front side, he says, idiot, genius, backside, under VWAP. His trades were a lot smoother. So anyways, digest that. The market's about to open, but feel free to reach out if you guys have any other questions or if I can help with anything else. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Steve. And then also, Anas made a really great guide to Orlando, so our Orlando boot camp. So I know Mark is open here, so we'll kind of get into it in a little bit. But if you guys ever get a chance, we have a guide to our Orlando boot camp of all the places. LHAI about to halt up. CANF kind of looking a little bit weak, so I will short a bounce. Yeah, expensive locates, but I think it might be worth it. We'll see. Just doing another audio check if you guys can hear me all right.
Sounds good to me.
And 50 dudes, every single guy.
So LHAI halting down now. CANF watching. Yeah, failed there. That's annoying.
Yeah, CANF looks pretty weak.
Annoying for now, but we'll see. See, like right there, I mean, it just tanked 40, I don't know, like 65 cents. So like paying that 30-cent locate would have been worth it, but we'll see. You guys see anything moving, bouncing, call it out?
Yeah, some money flow in this TC. TC, if I remember correctly, that was a China ticker. Yeah, low float, 400,000 China ticker.
So if anyone is still using Trade Zero, you should be moving to big trades for sure. I don't know why people are still using Trade Zero. So just waiting for bounces.
And also some money flow SOC.
SOC. JEM about to halt down as well. So a lot of these stocks are showing a lot of morning weakness. So maybe potentially could look for this JEM short as well. If it bounces. Which broker are you guys using that's 90-cent locates? That's a lot. I mean, let me check my big trades account. Let me see. CANF.
Mine said 38 cents a minute ago. Still expensive, but better than 90.
I have a meeting with Cobra today at 11. I'm gonna definitely ask them what's going on with these locate prices, because it's been a little bit crazy. It's not, what you guys have to remember is the brokers don't set the locate prices, the vendors do. So they'll get locates from like Goldman Sachs, they'll get locates from Robinhood, they'll get locates from Interactive Brokers, and those are the people that set the locate prices. So I wonder what's going on. I'll find out and let you guys know. So a little of a lackluster open so far this morning. SOC definitely has some attention, it looks like. JEM, we'll watch it now. What the fuck is a locate on JEM? Let's see what that is. JEM is like 10 cents.
Yeah, CANF, CANF bouncing, but locates are too much for me. JEM also trying to bounce.
The JEM bouncing a little bit. We'll watch to see how this bounce reacts, if I want to take a trade on it or not. TC is still pretty strong. So a little bit of a fail there on JEM. So watching for a bounce
TC
maybe.
fail.
JEM, maybe like a 830, 840 bounce is kind of what I'm thinking. CANF trying to rebound. So I like both JEM and CANF for now. We'll see. Overall markets are kind of selling off a little bit. SOXX is a ETF, I'm pretty sure, so it's not really considered for money flow. CANF lower high. All these stocks are so weak right now. Yeah, we're not using options here, guys. The stocks that we trade do not trade options. Options are a losing game. Most people trade options to get extra leverage, like winning a lottery ticket. And I don't know about you guys, but I've never won the lottery in my life. So options, in my opinion, unless you're a complete expert, is a losing game. I tried to take a starter on this JEM at 820. I got a partial fill. I don't know. I'm just kind of scalping around because everything kind of looks weak today. So only got a couple hundred shares. It's really nothing. JEM, I paid 10 cents on it. Same locate price at big trades, 10 cents. So I only got a starter at 820, and I really hope that that's not just the end of it. I only got like 300 shares. I was going for a couple thousand, but it's really annoying. We'll see. Hopefully things set up. I do think this LHAI with 126 million shares of volume is not going to die easily. So LHAI might continue to take money flow, and might continue to take the attention. Thoughts on TONX? What's TONX? TONX, low volume, grinding up higher. TONX is also a $200 million company, so not really that interesting for us. overall, not really much happening so far. Just have a small start on JEM. LHAI fail.
A little money flow EHGO, trying to get above VWAP.
So you can see, look at the difference of yesterday between today. Yesterday was great action, great plays, great setups, great opportunities. Today's a little bit slow. So what people have to realize about trading is non-linear, right? It's like going down the same road every day, but one day there's traffic and one day there's not. You know, you'd like there to not be traffic every single day, but sometimes there's traffic, you know? CANF is still holding pretty strong. EHGO bouncing. So only have a starter on this gem and not really too happy about it. Crazy newbie question, you could short stocks without options? Yes, you do not need options to short stocks. You could literally short the stock. We teach all this stuff though, guys. EHGO ramping up. So EHGO taking some money flow. If CANF locates, we're at 30 cents. I'd be shorting CANF as well. But because the locates are so expensive, I don't want to just short it blindly, you know? I need it to bounce up enough for me to short it. So I'd definitely be shorting, you know, CANF or whatever it is, but maybe I could try to add some JEM. Still using small size. Did not got a small add there, 790. Again, I'm using very, very small size on this JEM. It's not my ideal entries. Yeah, you could use Cobra or Big Trades. Big Trades is a $2,500 minimum, and Cobra's 10K. Either one will be good. Hi, I'm new. What ticker am I looking at? I mean, all the tickers, all my charts have the tickers on them. So right now I'm trading JEM. You can see on the screen. So JEM still acting weak. You know, low that day is 76. So if we break that low today, we should go lower. But I don't really have much meaningful size to matter because I'm not having my ideal entries on the stock. You know, oftentimes when people miss their ideal entries and the stock goes in their favor, they start chasing it. They start jumping towards it and screwing up their trade. I'd rather have a small position on and either make a small amount of money with no stress than to kind of screw up my average, get FOMO, and ruin the trade. Ideally, I'm hoping for this JEM to bounce to 850 to re-short it with ideally more size than just a couple hundred. But in case it just fails, it fails. Here we go, 75 is the low of the day. Let's see if we hit it.
And some money flow, CANF.
Yep.
And big fail, TC.
Oh, good call on TC. Maybe we'll look for a bounce on TC. CANF seems like it's going to be the trappiest one today.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. The ones with the really high locates, they seem to trap. Yeah, I don't know who's shorting those prices, but
Probably TC around like 520. A bounce towards 520. I'll look to short it if it gets there. SOC, a little bit of a fail. So a lot of mixed price action, I would say, today. Nothing really too linear. Nothing really too obvious yet. CANF bouncing. Feels like either it's going to pop and just reject or continue higher. Kind of feels 50-50. Either it's going to pop to 556 or it's just going to crash down under 5. So far, it looks like it's just going to crash down under 5.
yeah, there it goes.
JEM starting to bounce a little bit. As you guys know, I don't have much size on, so I'm actually welcoming the bounce. A lot slower price action today, for sure. EHGO fail as well. I mean, overall, it looks like the price action to me is more weak than anything else. Seems like all these overall stocks are just acting more weak. Something to keep in mind as well is that we have a long weekend coming up with the market being closed on Friday. So a lot of the Wall Street guys, a lot of the hedge fund people, they leave early, so it's a lot less volume. So maybe due to the less volume on some of these plays is kind of why they're all just not really doing much. Yeah, plus the first of the month. So notice the difference in price action yesterday versus today, guys. Yesterday was opportunity upon opportunity, great setups, great this, great that, and today's just a dud. You know, today's just a dud so far. So this is what you have to remember about trading, guys. Every day that you show up, trust me, every day that I show up, I want to make $100,000. Trust me, I do. But the difference is that it's all based on the opportunities that are in front of you. So it's actually funny. I was at an event yesterday. Well, one sec. Let's just focus on this gem. Let's see. How much size are you in gem? Like 5% of my size. Nothing really to note with. So let me get back to my point. So I was at this event last night, and I met with a trader, and we were talking about trading, this, that, and he's like, oh, like, why don't you risk the same amount per trade? And I was like, huh? He's like, yeah, why don't you use the same amount of risk per trade? I was like, because every trade is a different opportunity. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean, what do I mean? I was like, do you think every day that you show up is like the same opportunity or the same setup? And it just kind of flustered him. And I was like, dude, like I use, like, for example, if I'm just trading day to day, I might be okay risking $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 on these regular plays. But if there's a very big opportunity like CAR, C-A-R, or like oil, or like any of these things, look at an example of CAR, where it goes from 200 to 850. And look at an example of JEM. Do you think JEM and CAR are the same setup? No. Do you think I'm going to be risking way more on a setup like CAR than JEM? Yes. You know? So that's kind of very interesting to me that people are always trying to use different types of risk for different plays. All right, here's this gem finally bouncing. Might finally get this opportunity here.
Yeah, CANF also trying to bounce. Kind of looks trappy.
So JEM, a little bit of a bounce there. I will be prepared to add towards $9 on JEM. So I see so just drawing basic technical analysis. You know, this area would be a nice add, $9 would be a nice add. It does seem like CANF has most of the attention. And like I mentioned, I'm only in 5% of my size. So I don't have any meaningful size at all. Why? Because think about what I said at the start of this live trading. I said that when this thing went down, you know, a lot of people will get FOMO. A lot of people would add. A lot of people would kind of screw up their average and ruin the trade. Imagine if I just sized up at 780 or I sized up at 770. I would have been lost right now. Instead, I'm still staying small. I have plenty of room to add. And if it gets to my ideal desired area, I'm going to certainly add. Like right now, it looks like a fail, dude. Like this looks like a fail. Like I should be adding, right? Maybe I'll set an order. Let's see. This is a fail to me. Right? It's a very, very clear fail.
Yeah, right off 850 also.
So I got a small ad there at $8. You know, it's very, very clear, obvious fail here. And you see CANF taking the money flow. You know, CANF, this 550 area, if CANF breaks 550, it's probably going to push to 6, and that'll confirm the money flow for the day. Also keep in mind, guys, that I'm not just adding blindly. I'm not just adding because I feel like it. I'm not just adding because the sun is out and the moon is gone. I am adding when I'm being proven correct. When the stock is going in my favor, when it's saying, Alex, your idea is right, that is when I'm adding. Is trapping the same as consolidation? I want to consider consolidation and trapping the same. A trap would be like CANF here that has a major death candle and comes all the way back. A major death candle and comes all the way back. That to me is a trap. So a whole lot of nothing today, man. A whole lot of nothing. Some days you're catching a big whale, and some days you're catching a boot. So think about a day like today. Today, what the market is telling me is, Alex, do not get over aggressive. Alex, do not size up. So whether the trade works out or doesn't work out, it'll probably be a small win or a small loss. I'm not going to get aggressive today because the market is not telling me a reason to get aggressive, you know? Here's that 550 test on CANF. In my opinion, the CANF is very, very trappy. You would think with the expensive locates that wouldn't be that trappy, but here it is. It had a death candle twice, CANF, and came back both times. It had a death candle at 931 and a death candle at 942, and it's all the way back. That is a red light. Avoid, 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 you know? So there's red lights that are kind of going off in my head that are saying, dude, this is a little bit too sketchy. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'd rather just not trade it. And with this JEM, it's doing nothing as well. It's literally doing nothing. That's why I'm saying, I don't know, call it, if you want to get precise, like 7% of my size. You know, like if I want to use 1,000 shares, I have like 70 shares on it. It's nothing. It's nothing. Why? Because it's not doing anything. You know? Can you define a characteristic of a death candle? I think we have a lot of examples, but you can see it is a big red candle that changes the trend of a stock. It is a death candle because it kills the stock. So for example, on EHGO, if you look at EHGO, this is a death candle at 9:42 a.m. If you look at TC, this is a death candle at 9:35 a.m. You know, if you look at JEM, this is a death candle at 9:32 a.m. So we have videos on this. I think even Anas's Accelerator 2.0 has this. If you want to share the link.
Yeah, and any topic in the video library is searchable, so you guys can search any name and you'll get 100 hits on it.
So look at that. What is a death candle? So you pull this up and look at this. 5-minute
All right,
video.
let's talk about one of the most powerful signals you can find for shorting a stock. I'm talking about the death candle.
Boom. There you go. No worries. Literally not a problem at all. This is how we learn, guys. This is how we learn. We ask questions. EHGO, tank. So if you look around, man, EHGO is weak. LHAI is weak. JEM is weak. So I would say a lot more weakness overall is what I see today.
Right.
Overall weakness, but there's not really much opportunity on this weakness. So not only is there weakness, yeah, of course, not only is there weakness, it's just not bouncing to my ideal key areas. It's like, dude, you're going fishing, and you know this one location, latitude 43, longitude 53, is where all the fish are. You know all the fish are there. People are catching fish. You throw your line, and nothing's hitting. Nothing's hitting. You know? So I'm just waiting. Maybe nothing is going to happen. Maybe something is going to happen. But all I know is today's not a day to size up. So I am not in any circumstances going to be using aggressive size. Because if you look around, is any setup saying size up aggressively? Is any setup saying you should go in big right now? If you think so, I mean, maybe I'm missing something, you know? No, a death candle is indeed a signal for a short, but when it reclaims it is the warning sign. So for example, look at CANF. It had its death candle, but it came back. It had its death candle, but it came back. For a death candle to work, it should not be able to come back. So So JEM, you know, watching bounces maybe 870, maybe $9. Keeping my size very small, keeping my size very controlled. If you're anything more than like 10% of your size, you're in too much. Here we go. Added a little bit here, 869 into the bounce. So finally might get that $9 bounce. So look, I drew my resistance line here, and I'm just shorting into that resistance. So again, not being overly aggressive, not sizing up. Nice fail. So I draw my resistance lines, and if it gets to my resistance lines, I add. And that's why I added some there. So now I can say I'm probably in 10% of my size. So I'm in 1/10 of my size. Really good ad so far. Overall, again, like I said, it's looking like a dud of a day. Just scrapping around. But that's the thing. Sometimes you need someone to tell you it's a day to get more aggressive. Maybe you need someone to tell you, hey, it's like, you know, you see a cute girl over there. Maybe you need your buddy to tell you, go talk to her. Maybe sometimes you need someone to say, hey, size down a little bit. Don't get aggressive today. You know? Really great ad there. There we go. CANF taking the money flow now. With CANF taking the money flow, I feel a lot more comfortable, you know, adding more JEM. So I added more JEM here on CANF taking money flow. So trying to bet on this JEM breaking down now. Let's see. So as CANF is taking the attention, as CANF is taking the momentum, I am thinking that JEM will fail. Good avoids on CANF so far today. Let me know if this stuff is making sense, guys. Let me know if I'm making sense right here. LHAI, would you be interested in a short to VWAP? Yeah, potentially. The only problem is I don't really like trading $1 stocks. So for me, it's not really of much interest, but I do see a trade potential there for sure. JEM support is at $8. If we see an $8 break, we're probably going to see a low of the day break. So CANF definitely taking all the attention this morning. So imagine you paid the 30-cent locates and you're getting squeezed on it. Sounds like a nightmare. Pretty much falling asleep right now. So the CANF is the strongest one of the day. So I'm not interested in fighting or trading CANF right now. You can see it had these death candle and reclaims, death candle and reclaims. Whenever they have a death candle and then reclaim that death candle, that is a cautionary signal. Now because CANF is above the VWAP and failed death candles, it is a bad trade to short. That is exactly right, and that is exactly why we are ignoring it. Great questions today, guys. Great questions. What are you thinking, Steve? What do you see anything out there?
Man, I tried to locate and short JEM around above 850, and it wouldn't, it said it accepted the locates and it wouldn't short. So I'm asking Cobra what the deal is. So it looks like the route didn't work. I'm just using the free route. So anyway.
So I have open orders on JEM in case it just dips down. CANF continues to squeeze, so very good avoid there. Very happy with our avoids there. Very, very happy with those avoids there. So fail now on CANF. But if we've learned anything about this stock is every time it fails, it finds a way to come back up. So I would not consider this dead yet, but we'll see. It is looking heavy as hell now.
Big death candle. Nice fail.
So yeah, definitely a big fail there. But remember, every time we've seen a death candle in the stock, it's always found a way to come back. So I'm not trusting it yet. If it does break the low of the day on CANF around 467, that's a totally different story. If it breaks that low of the day, the stock is confirmed broken. A little bit of a rejection there on JEM. Yeah, it might be a good setup for tomorrow. Exactly right. Got a partial fill, 801 on JEM. So my short from 869 to 801 made 60 cents a share, over 60 cents a share on this short. So I'm reducing that for a profit while I let the other trades sit and see how they do. Overall, today's a really dead, boring day. You know, not a day to size up, not a day to get aggressive, not a day to push too many buttons. I am certainly going to be walking away at 10:30 today. JEM bouncing again. So my size is still small, my size is still controlled. Would you add back a resistance? I'm considering adding back what I covered at resistance, yes. We just want to see more price action. LHAI weakness. So overall, look at the price action today versus yesterday, guys. It's really nothing to write home about today. So small size, not overstaying, not over trading. Whether it be a small win or small loss is irrelevant on a day like today. It's just about control. So let's see, here we go. We're getting a bounce now. Watching to see how the bounce reacts for a potential add. Still factoring in potentially $9 on this. You can see resistance around 909. Another fail. How much importance do you put into range? ELABS looks like it has huge candles, only about 5 cents. Yeah, if the stock doesn't have range, it has no opportunity. You know, range is everything. If a stock is stuck in a 5 cent, here we go, JEM, fail again. Let's see if I get an ad. Well, trying to get an ad there. Got an ad there, 835 on that fail.
Problem for me is, yeah, the free rebate route, they said it didn't work, but all my hotkeys were set for free rebate for the free route. So I changed it on the scripts. Anyways.
So from Thomas, quick follow-up on your point about short locates being expensive. As flawed as TradeZero is, they do have a nice feature, short locate buyback. Yeah, the short locate buyback is only a tenth of what you paid though, right? So if you paid 10 cents for the locate, you know, they buy it back for 1 cent, if I'm not mistaken. JEM, nice fail again. Got another cover out there, 801. So look at how much my trades are adding up now, guys. You know, I had one trade from 869 that I covered for 60 cents a share. I had another trade at 840 covered at $8. So already, oh, here we go. Covered more,
Yep, nice
93. Fail. Oh, here we go. Shit, covered more, 70. Oh, fuck. Covered more, 55. Wow. Oh, shit. Here we go.
Oh my God.
Let's go, halting down. Bang. Now it's adding up. Talk about stock selection, man. Who does what we do, man? Who does what we do? No one does what we do, dude. No one does what we do.
That was crazy.
That's what it's all about, man.
So here's my chart so far in webinars. So I had some routing problems. I didn't know that the main route I use in all my scripts was down. Changed the scripts while I was trying to trade. Ended up jumping in, adding like heck, and it's working out really well still in this one.
Normally when the stock is halting down like this, the price will continue crashing after resumption. Yes. So like, look, I just don't get it, man. I don't get how we've been live trading for years, how I've made $16 million trading. I am trading live in front of you, making a plan, executing, and people still don't understand how important this is. You know? If you are not in MIC, if you are not here long term, if you are not here believing in the process or losing money, honestly, that's on you. Aside from coming to your house and clicking the buttons for you, how much more can I do? You know? That's why I get so frustrated. I get so frustrated because look at all that we do. Look at all that we do. Live trading, transparency, proof, broker statements, everything. And if you're not joining after seeing this, not only yesterday, not only today, but for the last 3 years, that's on you, man. Because you know what? We're going to keep staying here. We're going to keep making money. And unfortunately, I guess you're not going to join.
Yeah, the craziest thing I kind of ranted about this last week is, you know, when I see guys joining, and I mean, it happened yesterday. We had a guy join, and he joined 2 days ago and asked for a refund yesterday. And I'm like, did you join any of the live trades or anything? And He's like, I joined some of them. There's no freaking way he saw you trade yesterday, Alex, and decided to refund after making 5,000 in like 10 minutes. There's no way. He never accepted a Slack invite, nothing. I don't know what the deal is. It really does piss me off, but I mean,
You know
I
what
don't
it is,
want to
Steve? I
complain about
remind
it daily,
myself
but
at the end
it's
of the
crazy.
day, at the end of the day, we are here and we are printing money. Knock on wood. Knock on wood, we are printing money. If someone wants to stay back and trade futures and Forex and options and keep losing their money, I mean, go ahead. But you know what we're going to keep doing? We're going to keep making money, baby. So everyone in here, great job. You know, it takes money to make money. And that's it. So we got
Yeah,
about 1 minute and 30 seconds until we open. I will be covering out and then enjoying my day. And by enjoying my day, I mean hopping on the rest of my meetings for the day. I mean, stress-free trading. No one does this.
Yeah, and the great news is we do have a ton of members who are crushing it, who are seeing consistency, who are grateful to be here, who are really doing well and making life-changing money, you know? So that's the great news. I'm motivated by those stories. I just get frustrated sometimes when I see the other side that are honestly just too lazy. Honestly, it's just laziness. You can't tell me you don't have time. You know, when I started, I was working 8 to 12-hour days and staying up all night studying trading, right? I mean, we're all busy. Just tell me you don't like me. Don't tell me you're too busy. So JEM, about 7 seconds. I'm still in about half. This trade's working out really well. Let's see. You still there, Alex?
Yeah, sorry. Just covered some at 41.
Oh, no. I thought maybe you were on mute.
It wouldn't be the first time that happened.
It's happened to me.
So I'm gonna just get out of the rest here on the next dip and enjoy my day. So all out here, 7:55, activating the Alex indicator for you guys. Somehow my day added up very nicely with the stock cratering very nicely. You know, it's not much, but it is a great day's worth. So I made about $3,000 today. No stress, no headache, no problem at all. Stock is going lower, Alex indicator activating, and that is it. And that's my day. Had I just waited probably 15 seconds, I could have made another 500 bucks. But no problem here. Like we said at the beginning of this live trading, it is better to complain about making money than to complain about not making money. So stock is cratering now. Absolutely cratering. Sick.
Wow.
I
also
bro,
covered out.
The indicator doesn't miss.
Jeez, man.
So Steve, maybe it is a good time to talk about how to contact us to join. Maybe we could do a very quick 24-hour flash sale, because this is just, if you're not joining, I mean, I don't know what the heck to say. So I'll let you chime in here, Steve, while the stock continues to literally crater.
Yeah. Oh, hopefully some of you guys are still in that one crushing it. Yeah, feel free. If you guys have questions, if you guys want any info about joining, we've got a 50% off promo coupon code BYEPDT, BYEPDT. I'll type it here in YouTube. So use BYEPDT at, and if you guys have any questions, just reach out, StephenRH1 at myinvestingclub.com. You guys can try us out for a month, see what you think, and yeah, take it from there.
So that's it.
Man, I hope some of you guys are still in this one, crushing it. I covered out. Geez, 684. Oh man. What the heck?
All right, that's going to be it for me, guys. So if you're not joining after this, we can't help you. If you are an existing member, we have promos to stay long term. So reach out to Steve. Another really solid day. So back in 2 days, and just in 2 days, you guys will see me make almost $8 grand. And that's it. So with that being said, I'm done trading based on my process. If it goes lower without me, so be it. But that's it. So have a great rest of your day, and we'll be back at it again first thing tomorrow at 9 a.m. That's it.
Cool. See you guys.